Show. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. I'm in a much better mood this week. It doesn't undo what happened last week, but I am in a much better mood after Notre Dame's complete destruction of whatever Purdue is. They are bad addition to the Always Irish Show. As always, thanks for being here. You can find a program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irishing. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. You can get it. If you don't want to see my face, nobody blames you for that. Get the audio only. Call-in lines. They're popping. 312-900-8815. You dialed up. Tell Uncle Yanni all you've heard and seen. Oh, a lot of calls, man. I'm having trouble keeping up with the calls. We got new callers in the mix. I need a real AM radio show. I need a call screener, and I got to find a way to get more people in. It's a beautiful thing. Or these shows go 3.5, 4 hours now. 3 hours and 15 minutes for this one. It's a good run. Happy to do it. Happy to be your sounding board, and I'm glad people feel comfortable calling in. Don't forget about this. Notre Dame Fighting Irish Football brought to you by Sports Illustrated. We got articles covering everything about the game, before it, after it, reactions to it, recruiting, everything you can name. Check it out. Also, patreon.com/Always Irish. Former captain, leading tackler Mike Goolsby, and myself, Jared Clark, former player. We're breaking it all down. People are loving the live streams. Monday night, we do a live stream. You could ask any question you want of me and Goolsby. We go through the game together. Jared Clark and Mike break down all the film throughout the week, offense, defense, whatever. We got a good thing going over there, and I'm happy to do it. All right. That's more like it. I mean, you go up the road to your rival and you beat the crap out of them, like at their place in front of all their people. They smelled blood in the water all week. Their people were excited. They thought, hey, Notre Dame's struggling. They're not as good as we thought. Northern got them. Now they're coming to our place. This is our chance to get them. I know. That did not happen. Notre Dame just dominated this game to be beginning to end. And you know what I like about this too? I like that Notre Dame jumped up by a lot early. If you're playing a team that doesn't have the talent you have, and the longer you keep their hopes alive, you're asking for something stupid to happen. Need an example? Pull up the game from last week. The longer you let teams that have no business being in a game with you be in a game with you, the more you're asking for trouble. It was good to see them with all of us on edge going, is Notre Dame going to show up or not? What are we going to get? Are they just checked out or not listening to coaches and they're not buying? What are we going to get? It was nice to see them leave no doubt early. So great for Notre Dame. It's a shame, though. The reaction to this game from the Notre Dame media and fan contingent would have been so different, even if you played like crap and won by 1 point last week. This all would mean something different, appear different, feel different, hit different. All the media pieces on it would be different. But that's not what it is. And you let last week happen. And that's why I'm not wearing a chain. And that's why you don't see the chalice of malice. That I'm not doing it. I'm not there yet. I'm still grieving over what happened last week. That was a big one, man. And this doesn't undo that. That's going to follow you. So really good win. Good job showing you're still engaged and you want to do all this and whatever. But you got to also say Purdue's really bad at football. They are really bad. They don't got nothing, bro. They just don't have anything. Where's their flash players? Like, we got Love and whatever. Where's their flash difference makers, players that jump out to you? Both their lines seem terrible to me, man. Anyway, so they're bad. And here's the other thing, man. There's always this like Purdue little brother thing right up the road. And like they want to be what Notre Dame. there's always this underwhelming, underpinning jealousy of like what Notre Dame football is in the state of Indiana and all that. And Purdue wants to be it, but they can't be it because you just don't have our history. And it's not like a knock on you. It's just, you're not Notre Dame. You have a little cute mini choo-choo train that goes on the field and you hit a drum. That's it. No one cares. Purdue football is just not Notre Dame football. It's just like annoying. And then they all thought this was their chance. Well, bro, you just got crushed. So it was good to see them go down or whatever. I got to say, though, the more Notre Dame started winning by, the more you were like, bro, if you could have just scored one more time last week, this would all be so different. So there's a frustration there that we let that one get away last week and whatever, and it's going to follow you all year and haunt you. There's no way around it. Anyways, good bounce back. I mean, I picked Notre Dame to win, but I still thought it would be like an offensive struggle and Notre Dame would pull away and we'd be really frustrated by this game in a winning effort. So it was really great to see a blowout here and we're kicking the crap out of them and move on and have a short bus ride back home to help your quicker recovery. And then we see if you learned your lesson about playing a lower level team at your place when Miami, Ohio comes in town for the Always Irish tailgate that you're all going to be at, drinking Miller Lights in the parking lot for breakfast with Johnny Boy. Let's get it done. By the way, North Lot. Google North Lot parking Notre Dame. Look for the flag. I got an Always Irish. I got a Goolsby, Kennedy and Goolsby one. Look for it. We'll be out there partying, making moves. And if the game goes bad, I'll leave the game early and go drink in the parking lot. I'm not sitting there watching garbage. Anyways, let's go over some details. Number one, I mean, Notre Dame dominated this game statistically in a huge way. Let's go stats. Purdue passing 124 yards. Purdue rushing 38 yards. 38 yards, man. 38. Now that is like 42 minus 42 for Hudson Card with the problems behind the line of scrimmage, but 38 yards rushing. Like, what a joke. Notre Dame, 216 passing, 362 on the ground. That's like Northern Illinois numbers at Notre Dame. Ha, 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 ha. It's not even funny. I'm trying to joke about it. It's not even funny. Just total domination there. The defense played better. You actually made plays behind the line of scrimmage. Younger guys, that's the other thing. How nice was it to be able to get some younger guys in the game and not to play a game where you felt like if you made one little mistake, the whole season was over, whatever. It was nice to have some breathing room. Everybody's blood pressure could go down in this game a little bit. It was really nice to have that. And it really makes you think, you guys. Look at these 3 weeks of Notre Dame football. These 3 games. Look at them independent of one another, the 3 ball games. None of them feel similar at all. They all have their own personality. They're all so totally divergently, just totally different in feel and vibe and how good Notre Dame play across the board. And what I'm saying is for Notre Dame to get this whole operation where they want it, you got to find a way to be more consistent. You cannot have these huge swings week to week. Like college coaches like boring consistency where you just like, you can't be riding these waves. It's just too dangerous to keep up with the ebbs and flows when you're up and down the way we've been these 3 weeks. You got to find a way to streamline this and be more consistent with your play and your effort week to week. Can't get enough unfiltered Notre Dame football talk? Be sure to go over to patreon.com/alwaysirish. Former captain Mike Goolsby and myself. Do that. Screw it.
Oh, he never won anything. It's been 30 years.
Let's get into a few details. Injuries, brutal. Like, I'm in the Chicago area, and it looked like the the Chicago Park District was in charge of their field that does Soldier Field. And when the cold weather hits, the guys are falling all over, complaining about the field. Botello looked terrible. 2 more linemen. It's a good thing those backups have experience because it looks like you might need them. This all looked ugly. We're going to have to see what the reports are. Didn't look good. Didn't look good. Something else. Maybe you disagree. Jeremiah Love is going to be the best player on both teams that's on the field when Notre Dame plays most of their games. I know you want to spread the ball around, whatever. You didn't need him to have 100 carries today because you're winning by a lot. I get all that. But in these regular ball games, like where the outcome's in doubt, I need you to give Love the ball more than he's getting it. He's just that dynamic and that special. I still need more ways to get him the ball. I know it's a little different today because, you're blowing him out or whatever. But he is usually the best player on the field on both sides of the ball. Or both sidelines, both teams. When you're talking about Riley Leonard, oh, it's so frustrating, you guys. Let me look at his numbers again. 11 carries for 100 yards, 3 touchdowns along a 34. That's what you expect from Riley Leonard. That's that extra dimension. That is his legs being worth it. By the way, what happened to him being injured? And we don't know if he's going to play. And Riley, not Riley Leonard, Angeli might start. And all the talk was of that injury all week. And then it looked like he was fine. I don't know. But that kind of running effort is what you thought you were getting when you go get Riley Leonard to come play at Notre Dame. That's exactly what you thought you were getting. 11 carries for 100 yards, 3 touchdowns along at 34 yards. That is great. The passing game needs to get so much better, though. It needs to, and listen, 11 of 16, 112 yards, not awful. Still no touchdowns, though. No interceptions this week, but no touchdowns. And I realize people want to say that's 3 games in a row for him with no touchdowns. He was out at the half, whatever. So still no touchdowns. Here's what I'm seeing. And again, I'm not Goolsby. I'm not breaking down this X's and O's telling you I'm a genius. Here's what my feel is, my sense it is. Sometimes Notre Dame receivers are running either wide open or they're breaking to be wide open. He doesn't see him. He doesn't feel him. He's not looking that way. He's already bailed on the pocket or bailed on the play. Sometimes there are open guys he doesn't see or doesn't release it to or whatever. Other times, Leonard's looking down the field and then we can't get separation and guys aren't breaking open and then there's not much you can do either. The downfield passing game is still a problem. And you're going to beat a bad team like this by this amount. You may even beat Miami, Ohio by a lot, although I don't want to say that because look what just happened last time we were at home. But if you think you're going to beat the better teams you have on the rest of this schedule or make a playoff by some chance and make a run, you're not doing that being as one-dimensional as Notre Dame is right now, not able to stretch the field or scare anybody. You're just not going to win enough doing that. It's too hard to win it one way. And then it's like, it was good to see Angeli and it was good to see, Minchie and everybody get in or whatever. And Angeli, when he has time, he could drop those dimes and it's beautiful. But he doesn't have the natural mobility that Riley Leonard has. So he doesn't have that part, but it looks so much more natural and comfortable when he's throwing the ball, but he's not as mobile. And here's the other thing. Angeli's he doesn't feel, sometimes Riley Leonard bails on a pocket too soon. Angeli's the other way, where he holds onto it right into a sack and doesn't quite have that bell that goes off of like, I got to burn this one in the ground or take off. You almost want to take Leonard, Angeli, and Minchie, and then can we just take the good parts they all do and make it into one guy who could do everything? So it's really frustrating. And on the call-in show, a lot of the listeners we want Angeli or we want Minchie or whatever. Outside of injury, what do you think Freeman's going to do? Look at a guy who just scored three running touchdowns in a blowout and be like, that's not what we want him. He's getting benched. I just don't think that's realistic. That's what a lot of fans want. I don't think it's realistic. So I don't know where that leaves you. A lot of the callers were being like, why can't we have a 2-quarterback system or have a guy in there that could throw it better and keep the defense off balance? If you do that, though, is it yards? And if Angeli's in, then you know you're going to pass it. Does that tell what you're going to do? I don't know. But I do know it is frustrating. I do know this. It is frustrating when you bring in a 1-year upperclassman rental for this amount of money and you feel like you can't throw it beyond 10 yards. That's frustrating. I don't think that's what I'm paying. I'm not getting what I thought I paid that money for. For a 1-year rental, one and done dude, just like Hartman last year, and that didn't work out. And he's one-dimensional, and I can't trust him to throw the ball beyond 10 yards. That ain't what I'm here for, man. That's frustrating. So I don't know the answer to that. But if he's healthy, I just don't see the staff pulling him. I just don't. So I don't know. Notre Dame did what they should do to a bad team like this. Good job for today. Way to show that everybody's in it together and the team isn't fractured and checked out or whatever. That's all fine, but that doesn't mean everything's fine with this team and we're elite or whatever. Not even close. You got to win all your remaining games. You got to win all your remaining games. You have no more leeway. And so one thing at a time, don't take Miami, Ohio for granted, and then you got to get serious about Louisville. And Louisville has a talented enough defense. I'm not sure you can win that game being as one-dimensional as we've been. And that's an incoming problem. But I got to worry about Miami, Ohio first because we've proven we can't be relied upon to win at home. Now, am I being too hard on Notre Dame about all this and, whatever? You can't lose to Northern Illinois ever, and you can't do it at home. And you also can't have a 1-year rental quarterback. You can't throw more than 10 yards downfield consistently. So I get some people in the postgame are like, John, you're being a little hard on the team. You're not even putting on your jewelry or pulling out the gold cup or nothing. I'm not feeling that yet. And so, listen, this is the best possible way Notre Dame, in the condition they entered this game, could have taken care of business. I'm proud of them. I'm glad they did it. Should be a fun, quick bus ride back to South Bend. Not a rigorous travel situation. That's good for them. It's good to talk about what needs to get better after a big win than an unfortunate loss. This was a much better effort. I'm thrilled they got to empty the benches, and we have younger talent. Young was out there crushing people. KVA doing stuff. Traore. It was just good to see those young guys out there. Good to see Minchie get action. That's all good. You can only do that when you're kicking the crap out of somebody. So good week for Notre Dame, but you're still, I feel, kind of backed into a wall here where you got to win all your remaining games. That's a tough task. What can they do it? What do you expect at Miami, Ohio? I don't know. Stay tuned. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments. Don't forget to check out the merchandise. The link is in the description. You can browse and carouse all the different Always Irish gear. Make sure you head over there and get something for the next tailgate. Thanks for being here.